Hey, it's JT from the Gamers Garage Podcast and TheTotalGamer.com, welcoming you to The Edge. We have a fantastic show lined up for you this week, showcasing the best of what you, the gamer, have been doing in the world of video game captain. So without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Today I'm going to be looking at a game called Jade Cocoon, the story of Tamamayu. This game was released on November 30th, 1998 on the Sony PlayStation. It was developed by Japanese developer Genki and released in America by Crave Entertainment. So let's take a look at this game. Okay, the story of Jade Cocoon is a simple yet effective one. Your name is Levant, or whatever you decide to change it to since they give you that choice in the beginning. You're the son of a great cocoon master. A cocoon master is a champion of the village who protects the village by capturing, raising, breeding minions, and they actually fight for him. Of course, your father, the great Riquettes, the Lion of Peril as they call him, has long left the village. But once again, of course, the village is now in danger by some evil forces, which of course you would see more about when you actually play the game. I don't want to really ruin a lot of the story for you. But basically, you, the young, unexperienced kid, is thrust into danger, and you have to go out in the village and be a cocoon master and try to save your village. There's all kinds of twists and turns, and just all kinds of craziness that go on in this game that really do make the story worth it. You have a lot of supporting characters, such as the girl who becomes your wife, Mabu, and then there is Mother Garai, who is the Nagi woman who tells you a lot about all the stuff that you find out about in the forest, like all the different cocoon stuff and all the different magic stuff. She knows about that stuff, and she can tell you about everything you need to know about. The cast of characters, of course, is rounded out by a lot of different characters you have in the village, such as the blacksmith will talk to you, his son Kelmar, and then there is the obnoxious kid Louis, who actually watches the watchtower, even though he's seems like he's about 5 years younger than the main character in the game. But basically, this game has a very great story. Of course, I don't want to ruin it at all. I just want you to give it a look. In the department of gameplay and control, this game is great once you get used to it. The walking and running controls are like many other games of the time, where when you press up you move forward, you press down you go backwards. If you press left or right, your character will turn, will kind of pivot. When you navigate the menus, it's much like you'd expect it to be in just like any other game, like up, down, X is okay, O is cancel, just like any other PlayStation games. As far as gameplay aspects go, the game is really enjoyable. Unlike many RPG games of the time, your character is actually the only human character you'll ever have in your party. Since you are a cocoon master, you're able to capture, merge, and use minions to fight for you. This is the place where this game is unique compared to many other RPG games of the time. Any enemy except for bosses can be captured and used as your minion. You can combine multiple minions to make stronger creatures. Minions are based off the 4 elements, which of course are earth, wind, fire, and water. Fire is weak against water, water is weak against earth, and earth is weak against wind. Wind, of course, is weak against fire. When creating minions, it's always a good idea to make sure you have a good assortment of elemental attacks so you're never terribly defeated by any stronger enemies or bosses. Other than your main character, you're able to have up to 3 different minions along with you at any time. You, of course, can swap those out with Mabu. She can hold as many minions as you need her to. I think the limit's around 20 or so that she can hold before you have to, spin some into silk, which you can sell for money, or you can just merge some, and then, of course, that makes room as well. And, of course, the gameplay gets quite interesting when you have, these bosses, and you have to find strategies that work well with your different minions, trying to blend the different powers and make sure you're not being outclassed. Overall, the gameplay is great, and the main thing that will keep you coming back to the game, of course, with that breeding system. For its time, the game looked pretty good in the graphics department and still holds up pretty well today. It used pre-rendered backgrounds like many games of the time, such as Resident Evil and Final Fantasy VII, along with 3D polygon character models. The good thing about the game is that it doesn't really rely on cutscenes nearly as much as many other games around that same time actually did. Most of the cutscenes are actually done in-game, with in-game graphics and characters. The forest backgrounds can be quite colorful, and even in some cases they can look rather amazing with certain effects. The village and town locales have their charm and make you feel like you're really in the world. The character models themselves are quite colorful and high polygon enough not to look too bad. Sometimes you can see quite a bit of jaggies, but of course that is common in PlayStation games. The only thing I didn't like about the models is that sometimes the textures, especially on larger areas, can look a bit low res, bringing the overall quality of the character down. Minions look just as good. The style of them really is just spot on. Larger minions have more power, where smaller minions are faster and better with magic. There are even variations on this simple principle, such as skinny fast minion with a bit of stocky build that has good strength and a bit of decent speed as well. I think that the graphics in this game overall just are done really well considering the time this game was released, and it just looks really good. The sound in this game is where it really shines. This game was one of the first I played which had voice actors for just about every major character in the game. When it was released back in 1998, this was something that wasn't really all that common to have all this voice work in one game. It wasn't until games like Shenmue came out in 2000 where voice work and voice acting just became a lot more common. The voice acting itself can be a rather mixed bag. For the most part, the voice work is good, with only a few rough spots. Just like with an English dub in an anime, certain characters can be a little over the top and corny sounding at times, but this doesn't take away from the great voice work of some of the other actors. As I had mentioned in the graphics part, the in-game cutscenes are a really great touch, especially since each one is completely voiced, making watching one of the longer scenes more of a pleasure than a chore like some of the very text-heavy RPGs can feel. When it comes to music, the game has a passable score. Nothing except for the main theme, and maybe the village theme are really catchy enough to be remembered for too long, but still serve the purpose of setting the mood. When it comes to sound effects, the game is pretty good, except for a few exceptions, like when all the minions die, they kind of sound like elephants, but other than that, the sounds are just fine. Overall, the sound work in this game is very good. As I had mentioned, every major character gets a voice. There are like a few minor characters like you'll bump into who won't talk, or maybe even certain situations where the characters won't talk, but that's just about it. One thing I like to talk about when it comes to games is replay value, meaning will you be able to play the game again, or more, after finishing it. This game actually has a great deal of replay value. The first bit comes in the form of the Eternal Corridor. This is a randomly generated forest area which you can explore after finishing the game. Like the name suggests, this area never ends and keeps going on. Basically, every area in the Eternal Corridor you're going to keep finding stronger minions than that were actually in the game, new bosses, new items, new weapons. So basically, if you're really into this game, it extends it as far as you're willing to play it. Another nice touch is the Battle Arena mode, where you can challenge other players of the game to see who has the best minions. Of course, combinations of minions created never ends, and you'll likely never have the same minions during any playthrough, thus extending the replay value most of all. Meaning, if you go back and play this game again, odds are your result is not going to be the same as it was before, unless you remember exactly which minions you merged before and document everything down, which is something I would doubt anyone would ever do. So yeah, this game has great replay value. With big games like Tekken 3, Resident Evil 2, Parasite Eve, Unreal, Half-Life, Zelda the Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, Fallout 2, Pokemon Red and Blue, Xenogears, StarCraft, and StarCraft Brood War being released in 1998, It's not surprising that Jade Cocoon was overlooked. This game is one of those games that all RPG gamers should at least give a try. With its good graphics and compelling story, fun minion creating system, this is one of those unique experiences that no one really should miss. I would give this game a 5 out of 5. Definitely give it a try. See you later.
Hey gamers, it's K-Wing here, and now you're reviewing with power. Since Christmas is a month away, you parents out there are probably wondering what to get your kids. Well, all this month I'll be reviewing the big guns for the Nintendo Wii this Christmas. First on my list is the latest Star Wars game based on the hit Clone Wars TV show on Cartoon Network. So sit back and relax as I highlight Star Wars The Clone Wars lightsaber duels. This is Review 87, if you're keeping track. Chances are most of you have seen the Clone Wars pilot in theaters back in August. Now, Anakin Skywalker has been assigned his own Padawan, but does not retain the title of Jedi Master, which upsets him greatly. The Jedi Council sends the two on a mission to rescue Jabba's child. The Republic hopes that if they can save Jabba's kid, then they will aid the Republic against Dooku. The remainder of the missions in this game are based after the Clone Wars TV show. Mainly the first season, anyway. Star Wars The Clone Wars Lightsaber Duels is a fighting game, where the object of the game is to defeat your opponent. The game consists of 4 difficulties, from Youngling to Grand Master. Clone Wars makes full use of the Wiimote as a lightsaber, and isn't too shabby for capturing the awesomeness. Lightsaber Duels has a few modes for the player. You have Campaign or Story Mode, where you play as the Jedi and the story is based after the Clone Wars. Up next is Challenge or Mission Mode, where the objective of each mission is to complete it by following the rules. This in turn helps you to unlock hidden characters and other stuff. Free play allows you to play any stage you want at any given time. Battle lets you duke it out in an arcade-style fighting game. There are no cutscenes in this mode, but plenty of hidden goodies throughout. Quick play, you can't choose your character and you just play the game. And finally there's 2-player mode, which actually changed my initial scoring for this game, but I'll talk about that later. Here 2 players can slug it out either as Jedi versus Jedi, or as the Sith versus Jedi. Finally a game that I can really swing a lightsaber, well, sort of. You can swing the Wiimote up or down, or left to right. Stabbing is when you thrust the Wiimote forward. When you swing, make sure you try not to waggle the remote too much, unless of course you don't want to use combos. To block, hold in the B button. While blocking, you can parry your opponent by moving the Wiimote in the opposite direction. Evading is done with the A button, and the C button is your forced lift. This is actually a lot of fun. Once the object is floating in the air, you can throw at your opponent by flicking the nunchuck either left or right. It's that easy. To do a force push, hold in the Z button and push the nunchuck forward. You can also add force power to your attack by holding in the Z button and swinging the Wiimote. Each character has their own special move too. For a Wii fighting game, the gameplay isn't too bad, although you can only make use of the Wiimote and not the classic controller. Sometimes during the battle you will bring up one of 3 minigames. This is kind of like a quick draw. All you need to do is follow the direction. This game follows pretty closely to the hit TV show, and that's not a bad thing. The characters in this game look very close to what you see on the show. LucasArts did that on purpose to make you feel more connected to the game and the show. All the battles take place in real time, and each stage has its own fully destructible environments and lots of stuff going on in the backgrounds, from clones fighting droids to epic space battles and even a space station crashing into a planet's atmosphere. The use of textures and backgrounds is most impressive. Not only can the environments be destroyed, but there are certain stages that can hurt the fighters too. You heard me right, stage hazards. So not only do you have to be on guard while you're fighting, but you have to pay attention to the stage itself. That really makes the fight a lot more interesting. This time around, I had a hard time picking a favorite stage. It's between the trains inside Grievous' ship, and of course this stage with all the lava, because you have like those electrical hazards. The background is just stunning, the lighting effect is great, and I just really like those two stages. In lightsaber duels, not only do you have dozens of clones and droids yelling, giving orders, shooting, and dying, but you have battles and explosions on top of all that, plus the sound effects from the lightsabers, the force lightning, and everything else. The sound effects make the action a lot more exciting and adds to the game. The voice acting is really well done, and it helps that these guys are seasoned vets, like from the 80s and 90s, especially the Transformers Soundwave who plays Count Dooku. These actors really made these characters come to life, in my opinion. This game also allows for numerous conversations while in battle with over 1,000 recorded dialogue, depending on who you're fighting and what stage. The music is the only thing that wasn't very good for me. They should have stuck to John Williams' score, but that's just me, I guess. Lightsaber Duels is based after the hit TV show Star Wars: The Clone Wars on Cartoon Network, with over 100 episodes in the works. Anyway, it was important for LucasArts to capture the look and feel of the TV show for the Wii and DS games, so the developers did all they could to make the gamer feel like they were in the Clone Wars universe. Now, Lightsaber Duels gives the players the ability to wield the lightsaber like never before. The ability to pick up the Wiimote and hack away is easy for anybody to play this game. This game was built from the ground up, and it's one of the better fighting games for the Nintendo Wii to date. But it's not the first fighting game in the Star Wars series. That title goes to Masters for the PlayStation, and it was a terrible game, but it was the only Star Wars fighting game for its time. You know you wanted to play as Luke and beat up old Solo. With the reveal of the Wiimote in 2005, LucasArts had the idea to make a lightsaber game for the Nintendo Wii, also known as the Revolution back then. Shortly after the announcement of a possible game, a fan made a trailer showing two lightsabers battling. LucasArts said a Wiimote lightsaber game would come in 2007. Sadly, this was Lego Star Wars, the complete saga, and fans were very upset. Then they changed their minds and said that The Force Unleashed would be the lightsaber game, and they'll include a dual mode. At E3 2008, Nintendo talked about the brand new lightsaber game for the Wii. Then Nintendo announced Wii Motion Plus to fully complete the Wiimote, and LucasArts was angry at first, but then announced that a new lightsaber game was coming in 2009. For new players, I suggest playing the game as Ahsoka. Why? Because she's very fast and good at dodging, plus she has a very strong special move. For intermediate players, I recommend playing the game as Obi-Wan Kenobi, because of his awesome combos and his Force abilities. He's a pretty good balance all around, too. Now, unlocking Kit Fisto, Ploon Koon, and Mace Windu are done in the challenge mode. Then play as these different characters will unlock alternate costumes and stages when you play battle mode. If you need any more help, please go to the K-Wing forum site. You said it. The characters never shut up. Enough is enough. It's worse than Dragon Ball Z almost. The 3 added minigames can get really annoying, especially when you're in the middle of a really good duel. Depending on how good your foe is, you can lightsaber clash 6 times each round. After a while, it gets really old really fast, so if you wanted to annoy people from playing this game, just clash lightsabers 12 times a match. You have to sit there and wait for it to load too, plus the enemy can just waggle the Wiimote really fast to win the quick draws. Speaking of waggling, when playing another player, especially against Ahsoka, all the second player has to do is waggle the Wiimote really fast. It doesn't matter if that player doesn't know combos, because they're waggling, they can whoop a seasoned vet at this game, especially if you're trying to do combos and dodge. It's just not fair, but other than that, this game isn't really that bad. The best thing that I could suggest is always parry and try to run away as much as possible and get some really good force hits in. Otherwise, the waggling foe is going to beat you. Playing this game with 2 players is really what makes this game fun. From playing the computer a day or so and getting really good on Grandmaster difficulty, I wasn't quite prepared for playing another person, namely my wife. Now that was some fun battles, I'll tell you that much. Playing the computer was getting really boring, and I thought I had a really good idea what score I was going to give this game. But the second player changed my view and made me like this game a lot more. Now, K-Wife doesn't really like fighting games, so I was really surprised that she actually enjoyed playing this. Now, we had some pretty intense battles, too. Unless she was playing as Ahsoka. Still, we spent a good 3 hours the other night playing this, and it was so much fun. I just really loved playing it, and it's hard to predict what the second player is going to do, and even if they're waggling the Wiimote and you're using the combos and stuff, you still have to be on your toes and evade and block, and it's just a lot of fun, and there's very few Wii fighting games that I can think of that are actually a lot of fun to play. Not to mention, there are destructible environments in this game too, so if I want to take my lightsaber and like hack away at like a nearby post or some type of object, I can cut the thing at 2, and then I can throw it at my wife. In the game, that is. Plus, the force powers are really great. I love the ability to pick up things and throw it. I loved all the lighting effects. If you've been stuck playing single player, play 2 players in order to understand how much fun this game can really be. Trust me, I know single player can get really boring pretty quick, but it is necessary for you to play it to unlock characters, hidden alternate outfits, and costumes. What makes the game bearable for single player is the amazing cutscenes and the stellar voice acting. Plus, you have a few other modes that you can play by yourself. However, the best reason to get this game is the multiplayer ability. It's not easy to predict your friends or your family's attacks, and most matches are really anybody's guess. So that's what makes this game a lot of fun. Anyone in your family will be able to pick up the lightsaber and be able to play right off the bat, and that's really part of the charm of this game. So for you parents out there, this would probably be a really good idea for little kids for Christmas. For older Star Wars fans, I have a mixed opinion about it. I was ready to give this game a 4 out of 5, but after playing 2-player and having so much fun, I have to give it a 6, which is pretty good. Well, that does it for me, guys. God bless and happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and stay glued to Got Game for more of my reviews.
Oh, you can talk. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna take a look at the Xbox Live Experience, the new update that Microsoft just put out. There's only a select few of you that probably got this. I don't think the whole public got it because my brother has an Xbox and he doesn't have the updates. So when you first start off the Xbox, when you first start it, this is the video you're gonna see. Now you get this video the first time when you update your console. You don't get. I thought at first that you get it every time you boot up, but then people would have been bitching and moaning that it takes too long for the console to boot. So that's that. Alright, basically this is what it looks like. I mean, really not much to... There's your avatars, of course, which on the top right corner you can barely see it, but I mean, you get your avatars, you get parties, you can join a party on Xbox Live of up to 8 people to chat with and roam from game to game. You've got the Netflix, for those of you that subscribe to that, I'll show you Netflix because I have it. You can play games, put your favorite games on your console's hard drive for quicker access. And of course the marketplace. Go back, and there's the spotlight, and right now it's showcasing Gears of War 2, Rock Band 2, and then telling you about the gold member advantages. Assault Heroes, you can rent Iron Man, you can play Quantum of Solace with Carly from, I don't know who that is, and then this talks about all about the avatars and stuff. And this is, you can open your tray, there's the latest games. What I find cool about this is now your Xbox arcade titles, they have their own boxes now, so it looks a little cool. Can't retrieve, yeah, it's going to make me look stupid now. Come on, there we go. And there's your box cover, that's for Golf Tee It Up. And then I got Frogger. Oh, come on. You know what I'm thinking is going on here? They're having issues, probably. And probably a lot of people are on this right now. And I think Microsoft hit a home run with this because it looks a lot better than the old one. I wouldn't go back to the old one. Hell no. If anybody complains about this, they're out of their mind. There's Pac-Man. You get box set for all your arcade games. Get out of this. And then you got your game marketplace. You can get game content. It tells you the top arcade hits. This community games. Different stuff. Then you got your video marketplace. Here's Netflix, which I'm going to show. I got a 10-minute limit here, so I don't want to go over that because you know how YouTube is. Alright, I'll show you what Netflix is. What it looks like on here. Right now, alright, yeah, you see Hannah Montana, that's because I got kids, okay, so don't stop bashing. This scarf, this, yeah, because you know there's going to be somebody out there, oh, he's got Hannah Montana on there, what is wrong with this guy? Alright, like I said, I got kids, they like that. Alright, Scarface, see, look at that, Tony Montana, okay? Let's go. Now, with this Netflix here, I got confused. I thought that they gave you the box art automatically, but they don't. When you first start this out, you have to add this to. It's called an instant queue, and what it is you go in and the watch instantly section on Netflix. You just add the stuff into your instant queue, and it goes right to your Xbox, and you get this this nice box art. Batman Forever. They got Superman. There's Hannah again. The Road Warrior. Poltergeist 2 and 3, Alien 3, The Craft, Cat's Eyes, Shocker, Pan's Labyrinth, which I believe I think that's an HD, which they don't have a lot of HD content for Netflix just yet, but I'm sure that they're going to update that. And this is the Boston Red Sox. I found a little problem with this in the HD section. There was no sound. So I don't know if that's because of was something wrong on my end, or I don't know. But I ran a regular movie and it had the sound just fine. I'll show you how it runs. Hold on, let me get a thing going. Let's do the Road Warrior here. Basically, it determines your video quality. If you got broadband, you're okay. If you're on dial-up, then you're a nut job for even being on YouTube. I don't know how the hell you watch your videos. But broadband, if you got a fast enough connection, you should be fine. Up, and it's not filling the screen. Alright, alright, hold on. Fill that screen. Warner Brothers, please don't sue me or anything. I'm just showing something. Shit, where the hell is the fill screen? Did it fill? Alright, this can go on a bigger screen. I don't know why it's doing that, but maybe it's the way the movie is. Because I had this full screen before and now it's just not doing that. I don't know why. Alright, that's what that is. So that's all it is in a nutshell, and it is definitely faster than the previous dashboard, so getting around is going to be easy for newcomers to this, so you'll be able to get into this really quick. Alright, there's the avatar sitting right over there, cracking his back or whatever the hell he's doing. Alright, that's the Xbox Live, the new experience. Everybody should have this within 5 days. The whole world will have this, I believe, in 5 days. But for those of you that were lucky enough to get into this, then there you go. You know what it's all about.
Why am I a snowboarder? Total freedom. When I'm on the mountain, I choose where, when, and how I ride. Whether my friends and I are just messing around, or finding secret spots, out here, it's all about fun. So when you're ready to conquer the extreme peak conditions, explore the backcountry, or compete at the terrain parks, get on board.
White Snowboarding in stores November 16. Rated E10 to T.
Hey guys, we're taking a little break from documentaries so that we can begin our new series of video game reviews.
And what better game to start the series off than the much anticipated cooperative survival horror game Left 4 Dead.
David and I are huge fans of survival horror games, so when we discovered that Valve was creating a game in our favorite genre, we were both very anxious to get our hands on it.
Valve has brought gamers several hugely successful and critically acclaimed games, including Half-Life and the Orange Box.
So for our review, instead of giving the game a letter grade or percentage, we will give the game a value. This value will be out of how much the game costs on the day of its release. So let's get this review going.
For many gamers, Left 4 Dead is the perfect game. Valve has combined 4-player cooperative or competitive play, a zombie apocalypse, and addictive gameplay all into one brilliantly presented package.
Not much information is revealed to the player about the cause of the outbreak, and because of that, the player is forced to come up with their own theories about what happened.
And the environments tell a story all their own. As you and 3 friends explore a zombie-infested city, desolate buildings, darkened subways, or any of the game's other environments, each location has a look and feel to it that can't be found in many other games.
One minor problem is because Left 4 Dead uses the Source engine from Half-Life 2, the game doesn't really wow with the visuals. And another issue we came across was when you try to pick up items such as pipe bombs or pain pills. It can be a little frustrating trying to home in on an item, especially when you're being attacked by the undead.
In Left 4 Dead, you are forced to fight together or die alone as the game pits you and 3 human players, or you and 3 NPCs against the infected AI controlled by the director. So here's Adam to explain that to you in English.
So basically what David just said is that Left 4 Dead allows non-social players to play alone while assisted by computer-controlled survivors. Otherwise, players can play with or against other humans online or on a single console using split screen. Obviously, the latter 2 options are reserved for players who have friends.
Thanks, Adam.
So the survivor's goal is to help each other shoot their way through various scenarios to safety. One issue we found is friendly fire, and that it is very easy to shoot your friends. But that shouldn't become a problem because of the very clever voting system. At any time, players can start a vote to change the difficulty settings, restart the campaign, or even ban a player from the game. This comes in handy since you'll be playing with up to 3 other people and it only takes 1 moron to ruin the game. Infected are controlled by an AI that balances difficulty and mood depending on the player's progress and situation.
In an alternate game mode, human players can control up to 4 boss infected with special abilities and cooperate to stop the survivors.
The environments are unsettling and the zombies are disturbing. The sound and the feel of your weapon gives you a sense of security, but when you're being ambushed by hordes of the undead, that feeling doesn't last very long.
And there's plenty to do in Left 4 Dead. The multiplayer definitely adds to the replayability that is all too important due to the prices of new games.
And now for the final part of our review of Left 4 Dead. The value.
How did you do that?
A magician never gives away his secrets. So after much consideration, we give Left 4 Dead a 60 out of 60. And according to my math, that's almost full value.
Now comment, rate, and subscribe, and buy Left 4 Dead.
Well, they don't have to.
But they should definitely go buy it.
Don't tell our reviewers what to do with their hard-earned drug money.
Hey, I sell my body to afford these games.
Really? I thought I was the only one.
I was kidding.
Bye, everyone.
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas.
Second expansion released from Blizzard, The Wrath of the Lich King has finally arrived, invading our shelves and not to mention our hearts. Now, unless you've been living in a hollowed-out tree for the past few years and rooming with a squirrel and living off of mealworms, you know that The Wrath of the Lich King is not a separate game. It's only an expansion, just like the Burning Crusade. Now, as far as content goes with the new expansion, you're going to be getting a lot of new things. The first and most notable is the land of Northrend. Northrend adds a nice new flavor to the land of Azeroth. It's beautiful to behold and very creative in its design. If you've completely played out the Outland and you're bored with it, you're going to love this new realm. Now the other highly notable thing would be the Death Knights, which are so ridiculously fun to play as it should be illegal. Death Knights are the highly powerful undead minions of the Lich King. Their basic purpose is to wreak havoc wherever they go. So if you're more of a horde kind of guy, you're probably going to be magnetically attracted to this type of character. Now some other really cool content you're going to be getting is new siege weapons, a new achievement system in which anyone can see your achievements live, and new hairstyles at the barbershop. And the really cool new thing about the barbershops that I love is the fact that for the first time ever in the land of Azeroth, you can get a mullet. Bon Jovi would love that. Now, as far as gameplay goes in Wrath of the Lich King, you are going to get a lot of the same gameplay that you've always had with WoW, but evolved. On occasion, you'll still get some of the same old quests you always have, such as, hey, you have a sword, can you kill these rabbits so they'll stop eating my daffodils? But those type of quests are few and far between, and most of them are very creative, and the majority of all the quests tie into the main plot of this expansion, something that was very rare in the Burning Crusade. As said before, the thing you're going to be getting with this expansion is evolved gameplay. Dungeons are better, enemy encounters are better, they're more creative and absorbing. If you're a WoW addict, I'm probably wasting my breath by telling you to go pick up this expansion. But if you've recently fallen out of your WoW rut, this expansion is more than adequate to push you right back into a new one. The Wrath of the Lich King is not, I repeat, not the Burning Crusade 2. Blizzard has totally raised the bar with this expansion. With the new content and the evolved gameplay, this expansion is worth getting. Do not miss out on this one, WoW fans. Long live the King. We give Wrath of the Lich King an A+. To see this video again or get the full written review, visit www.nothingbutsoftware.com/blog.
Hello, this review is on iPhone game called Blocks Classic. It's basically a breakout game, a simple breakout game. It's just 99 cents right now for the full version. There's a free demo version out that only has 7 levels, but get the free demo version, see if you like the game. You can start a new game, or it remembers where you left off, what level, to continue on, or just continues where you left off. The game has okay graphics. The sound, let's turn that up a little bit. I got a bunch of balls here. Basically, to start, you just touch the screen and just move your finger back and forth to start the level. Like most breakout games, you can semi-control where your ball goes by where it hits the paddle. The multi-ball right now, well, that didn't last long. apples for points. This one's tough with this background. It's kind of confusing, this level. Losing a lot of balls here. Next level. This level looks a little more interesting. Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh, I missed already. I haven't mentioned before, there's no pause. Wait a minute. Oh, there's the pause button. Before it didn't have a pause button. It does now. So, alright, let's get going again. One more block here. There we go. Alright, this looks like a pretty level. Alright, so you get the idea of how this game works. If you like Breakout Game, this is fun. If you're not sure, get the demo and see if you like it. And that's the end of this review. Well, we've come to the end of another great show. I hope you all enjoyed. If you have any submissions or a video you would like to suggest to The Edge to be featured, please send an email to edge@gamingunlimitedtv.com. Additionally, feel free to leave us an iTunes review if you have watched this via iTunes, and a comment over at the website, which, as most of you know, is www.thetotalgamer.com, as well as you can check out other fantastic shows such as Gaming Unlimited TV, The Weekly Pit Stop, and The Gamer's Garage. There's plenty of stuff there for every gamer, so head over to the site. And now I'll leave you here with this last video. So until next time, this has been JT from The Gamer's Garage and TheTotalGamer.com. Catch you later.
Where are my mushrooms?
I think you're super just the way you are.
Where are my f***ing mushrooms?
I threw them out.
What? Unbelievable!
You don't need those. We're not in the Mushroom Kingdom anymore, Mario. This is the real world. What people think.
I don't care what the people think. They haven't seen half of the shit I have in their precious real world.
So that we could start over, not so that we could sit around and rehash the past.
You're the one to talk. Sometimes I think you actually like to getting you kidnapped.
At least it forced you to act like you gave a shit. I can't believe I left my kingdom for
this. Hey there. Oh, you're still the princess of my world?
I've heard that one before.
You want to go ride go-karts? Play tennis? What?
You always want to play games, Mario. You need to go out and get a real job so that we can pay the rent and have something to eat.
I have a job. I'm a plumber.
Oh, yeah? When's the last time you plumbed anything?
That's not fair.
What's not fair?
You.
Go to hell!
It'd probably be funner than being here.
Mario's. Where are you going?
Move it, Peach!
Give me the mushrooms, Mario. I'm not moving until you give me the mushrooms. Wait! Mario!
Yes. And what is this? No.
Peach, long time no save.
It's about Mario.
Oh, Mario. Everyone wants to talk about Mario. It's his world. The rest of us just live in it, right?
He left on the sink and now he's missing.
I hope he stays that way. Last time I saw that mook, he stole my warp whistle. Cody, put that down! When you see him, tell him he's dead to me.
But you don't understand. He's on his last life.
These colors. You in the overalls! Go to hell, Cooper!
You asked for it. Ow! Back to Hades, demon beast, from whence you came!